Hi, Mark here from the Tangent Bound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangent Bound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangent Bound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangentBoundNetwork.com and see if Tangent Bound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swabs it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a Spurler. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 319.
The still temporarily soberest podcast on the network.
Soberest, huh?
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
You turned that 9 upside down. Oh, shit.
No,
No.
we already did that, remember?
But.
Nope. Mm-mm.
But.
All right, fine. It is.
Yeah. We're like the mud stompingest, beer drinkingest,
Hell raisinist,
bald headedest,
redneckinist,
leather vest wearingest, knee bracingest, jean shortenest,
Texas rattlestakinist.
Yeah. Kick stun all over the place, mud hole stomping, middle fingers until they censored them out.
Right.
Oh, geez. He almost came down that way again. That shit almost got crazy.
He comes out, he just walks back and then walks out again.
How great would that be? That response was not appropriate.
Yeah. Too
Cut
funny.
my music.
Yeah. It would be funny, though. Stone Cold comes out and is, just isn't happy with the pop. He just stops halfway down the ramp and just turns around and walks back.
That would be amazing.
Like what?
Amazing.
Like what?
Simply amazing.
Where's Stone Cold going?
We'd be like, but Stone Cold, we pay money to see you stomp mud holes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and I came here for the mud hole stomping, and you're not doing it, Stone Cold. So I want my money back from my ticket.
Be like, on how they advertise, and they're like, appearing this weekend, and they'll go over the wrestlers that are going to be there, and they say Stone Cold, that's his appearance. He just years intro, he comes halfway down the ramp and then just leaves.
Like, yeah,
yeah,
but I paid money to see my Stone Cold, and he's no longer here.
Well, you got to see him.
But
read your ticket.
He did not be a drink or Hellraise.
Well, he did, but it was in the back.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Did I mention? Oh yeah.
I think so.
All right. Excellent work. All right. Oh man, Brian, you ever feel like off and shit?
Oh yeah, I certainly do right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Yeah. I'm feeling off and shit today. Good thing I got a cup full of bourbon.
That'll straighten you right out.
Right?
Nice.
Yeah, that'll hopefully get me back on the proper lane for podcasting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is, if I was driving a podcast right now, I need to finish this, maybe get in my cooler over here.
Yeah.
And then I'll be just careening through Nuns and going over to Center Line. And
yep.
I don't know why Nuns was my first choice for a drive-through, but
I don't know. It's what you do.
Drive-through nunnery?
I guess, yeah. That's kind of weird, but yeah.
It is.
Whatever.
Is that where you can get your, be wed to Jesus and a fresh habit on your dome while you're still in your car?
Oh, I was thinking a different way. I was thinking more like, you go through there and you have to stick your hand out and they wrap your knuckles and,
belittle you in front of class.
Yeah. You have to do some Hail Marys before you leave,
Right?
No big deal.
You mean sweet passes at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
70-yard bombs from your laser rocket arm.
They call this play the Rosary.
Oh, man.
Right?
So this is going to be weird because I kind of can't hear myself in the headset. So I have no idea how loud I'm going to be. So that'll be awesome.
Loud noises?
Yeah. Because I don't.
Do you have your headphones plugged in?
Yes, I do.
Did you try turning it off and on again?
I did. I tried unplugging them and reseating and, all the things you're supposed to do.
I am all out of ideas.
Yeah.
Ooh, wait.
What?
Did you take the earplugs out?
They're not earplugs.
Okay.
Maybe it's from last week.
Were you storing fun-sized Twix bars in your ear canals?
Obviously.
Seems like a great place.
Yeah. No, unfortunately not. Just I
am all out of ideas then.
It's just a weird day, I think,
It's been a weird week.
Yeah, because as I told you before we started, I ran on my blood pressure medicine, so I feel like I could just, put my hand through a wall the way the Flash does just by vibrating it through the wall.
I thought you meant in Rage.
No.
Raw.
You don't really see the Flash get enraged and punch through walls much,
Until he gets home and dinner's not ready and he's a little tipsy because he stopped at the bar. Them things just go sideways for the old Flash.
Yeah, because he tries to run backwards to reverse time, so dinner will be hot, when he gets home. But when he gets home, his whole family's dead, because every time
that went sideways.
Well, every time he fucks with the time continuum, it always goes sideways. He's the cause of every major event in DC's history.
I was thinking he ran backwards in time to try to get dinner to be hot, and he realized dinner was cold because his wife was banging Mr. Zoom or whatever, or Professor Zoom. It's Professor Zoom's dad.
It's Mr. Zoom, yeah.
Zoom.
He wears a smoking jacket.
Yes. I may not be as fast as my son, but I have longevity.
Yeah.
That's why she's with him. Mr. Zoom just dicks her down on a constant basis.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, that's the thing is Flash comes home, his family's dead. So then, of course, he tries going back again. And when he does, he realizes that he actually killed his family because he snapped after hearing about her
affair of Mr. Zoom.
About Mr. Zoom. Yeah.
Also explains why Professor Zoom hates the Flash.
Yeah. Because
his father views Flash's mom in a better light than his own mother.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's all coming together. We should write for the Flash. Like, we have a character for you guys, Mr. Zoom. They're like, what's his power? He fucks good.
They're like, go on.
It's kind of like the Speed Force, but for fucking.
Yeah, and with less friction.
Yeah, less friction. We can't have one of those Flash suits on because he's got enormous peas. Mr. Zoom.
I love the fact in the Flash, and I'm sure they explained it away somewhere, but I love the fact that there's times where he grabs somebody and runs with them, and they don't seem to get bothered by,
does the
running
Speed
so fast.
Force extend around him or something?
I think that's kind of how they explain it.
How great if he grabs somebody to try to save him from an explosion, he took off running, and when they finally come back, they're just dead and all in pieces.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say just a skeleton was
slightly on fire.
Yeah. A skeleton was just some hanging skin.
Exactly.
Gross.
Looks like the Crypt Keeper, but worse.
Basically. Like, oh, nuts.
Again. Runs back into time.
Yep.
Fucks it all up.
Yep. Every time.
Exactly. God damn it, Flash. Leave shit alone.
That's why
Stop running backwards.
Clearly, he never watched, for such a science nerd, he never watched any sci-fi, apparently.
Not at all.
Because if he had, he'd know you don't fuck with the space-time continuum.
Don't fuck. Yep. Leave it as it is.
That's why you and I
next
don't
thing
go
you know, you're running backwards to time, you're banging your mom. Did he learn anything from Back to the Future?
He must not have seen it. I
guess not.
He must have avoided that in all of Star Trek.
Yes, exactly.
Which is an odd thing to avoid.
It would be great if he ran back in time in one of the episodes and he showed up in the past wearing like the orange vest and jeans and flannel shirt.
Yes.
That'd be amazing. They should just do it as like an Easter egg because I haven't watched The Flash in like a couple seasons, so I'm not sure what they're up to.
Yeah, I'm a good season behind at least. So yeah.
But I'm assuming they're up to no good if we're talking about timeline shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the season I haven't watched yet, I believe, is the Flashpoint season.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And yeah, in Flashpoint is where it's like a whole alternate timeline. Which it's
where he just runs around and just goes, "You!" and points at people. And, like, oh God, Flash again.
And then they die.
He's so rude.
Yeah. No, he does the Hulk Hogan point.
Yeah. You! Starts breathing heavy.
Oh shit.
Like, oh my God. Last time I heard someone breathe heavy like that, it was Mr. Zoom.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want a big boot from Flash, though. I mean, think of the momentum he could get. That'd be ridiculous.
The momentum is there.
Yeah.
But the big boot was typically the people running at him, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, he throws them off the ropes.
And, Flash is what? $110 soaking wet, so he's got to have dainty feet.
That's true.
Yeah.
But still, he throws them off the ropes, and in the time it takes them to hit the ropes and come back, he's hit the ropes like 20 times.
Oh, I see. All right, that makes sense.
And in wrestling, the more times you hit a corner or the ropes, the faster you go. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's physics.
Clearly. It cracks me up in wrestling. There's guys that like Dean Ambrose is this guy. He will run over into like the corner and kind of jump toward and push off the turnbuckle and run toward the other, the diagonal corner. And it's like, dude, you just ran over there, stopped, then pushed yourself off you killed your momentum.
No, you don't understand, Brian. Physics.
Yeah.
He doubled it.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Exactly. In wrestling physics, he certainly did.
When he hits the turnbuckle, it builds up more kinetic energy so he can do more damage.
Exactly. And since he applies all that energy to the turnbuckle, it, of course, applies said energy back to his foot, shoving him. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Now you're getting it.
Yeah.
We should teach wrestling physics.
That would be a great podcast for me to listen to.
Like, okay. We all know the shoulder joint can clearly has all that room to rotate so many times.
Right.
And all you have to do is do like a handstand flip or whatever, and you're out of it. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or like the guys that do the luchador stuff where they flip off, they do like handsprings off the ropes and then kick, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And it's like, you're really not gaining that much or any momentum, you know?
No, you don't. Right, you don't understand the power built up in that.
I guess not. The power of the luchador.
Mm-hmm. That's actually how they power most of Mexico, is with luchador electricity.
I didn't know that.
It's crazy.
Huh.
I watched a documentary about it one time.
Was El Tigre in it?
Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah.
That was supposed to be me switching pages to get to the El Tigre. There we go. El Tigre. He wasn't in it, but it was an El Tigre production.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, he's behind the scenes on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. He's very deep in the world of Mexican documentaries.
Obviously, yeah. It's a very lucrative business, you know.
It sure is. Yeah. It certainly is. Yeah. Everyone. It's kind of like Bollywood, you know, if they're insane over the top action.
Yeah.
But it's just documentary.
Right. Oh man.
Right. I watched a really interesting one on the history of the poncho. It was great.
Terrible.
It was like 4 hours. It was so intense. So good.
Terrible. All right. Well, enough of this stuff. Oh man, this is annoying. I can't hear myself at all. It's so weird.
Talk louder.
Oh yeah. No.
That is bizarre. Does your headphones have like one of the inline volume knobs on it? Maybe.
Nope.
No.
No. Just for some reason I can't hear myself in them. It's weird.
That is weird. I hate it when it happens.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if it's a cord or if it's the headset or what.
You want to take a brief time out to see if you can't figure it out?
Yeah, why don't we? And then we can jump into what's happened the last week. So we'll be right back.
So, I guess while we're at break, we'll just, I got nothing. I'm trying to improvise over here and I got nothing.
Right. Yeah, we'll be back. All right, we're back.
Did you guys enjoy that sweet intermission?
I'm sure they did. You know, it's, a cool down. Yeah, they were getting all amped up by our talk of physics.
Did you make sweet, sweet love to your physics book?
You should have.
I know I did. They're really going to hate it when they buy it back.
Probably.
Right?
Look, it's freshly sealed.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know. That's weird.
Wow. I got so much awful shit running through my head right now. I'm just going to stop.
All right, fair enough. All right, so
I'm just picture medieval wax seals.
Oh, that's terrible.
Right? Oh. Man, this guy needs more water in his life. All right, I need to stop.
Oh man.
Or I should keep drinking.
Yeah. This seal's sweeter than most.
Mine smells like bleach.
Whoa. That's probably no good.
Right.
So, how was your week? Before we get into the...
It was a week. It was all right. Yeah. Our weekend was amazing.
Yeah. It was a good weekend.
The week itself was, it was full of work and stuff, and that's pretty shitty.
Yeah.
But we had Labor Day weekend, Brian, and we did all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like us.
Yeah. You and I, not just, separately, but together.
Right. I know.
We went skipping merrily down the street holding hands. It was something.
It was indeed something.
Okay, there's no hand holding or skipping.
Or was there?
Guess they'd have to follow us on Snapchat to find out. Not really. I'm just kidding. Yeah, my week was pretty much this, just meh, whatever, aside from the weekend too, so.
Right.
So I guess let's just talk about that.
Let's get to it.
Oh, actually, real quick before we start this. Oh, no, you know what? I'll do it afterward. Yeah, let's just
all right.
Go back to Friday.
Friday.
The day we normally recorded last week, we decided we were going to record early, as we told you last episode.
Indeed. Because we had a little concert action up in the D.
Yep.
going to go see our lovely band we like, the Braided Veins, which if you go back and listen to a certain Enthusiast episode, which I don't have it to tip my fingers, but I should because I'm a cunt.
It's the one with John O'Deener.
Yes. We went and saw Braided Veins, which is John O'Deener's band.
Mm-hmm.
He's also the drummer for the Swellers, if you're into that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they were playing at this club up in, up in Detroit. Called, what's it called? Oh, it's called the something touch. Gentle touch, loving touch.
Loving touch, yeah.
The naughty touch.
Loving touch.
Loving touch,
yeah.
Yes.
Which is really odd, but, I don't.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
They did have a big sign in the place that said, like, loving touch massage or something like that. So I wonder if that's what maybe it used to be. And they just kept the name because it was funny or weird.
It is a great name. It looks like it's a pool hall, which the Loving Touch makes sense for a pool hall, too.
Yeah.
Because you get that sweet touch on that ball. You know?
That's not what I thought you were talking about. But...
Yeah. It was the number 5 with the Enthusiast. That's going way back.
Wow, that is.
Is when we interviewed Jono.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check that shit out. In fact, I'll include a link to the YouTube if you want to, pull it up and watch it on your face.
Watch it on your face, huh? All right.
I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, we on the way there, when we were looking for a place to park, I happened to see a sign that said brewery on it.
Because I don't know about you, Brian, I was starving.
Yeah, so was I.
I was so hungry, and
so we basically were like, well, let's go get something to eat. We may miss the first band, but whatever,
Yeah, exactly. We're like, fuck it. I mean, because according to the app I bought the tickets from, it was like Braided Veins show, fucking sick. And we're like, the opening band, was it like Care Bear Stay or some dumb shit? Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. And we went, this guy, my friend over here, he may have found, with his eagle eyeballs, the greatest thing ever. It was the Woodward Avenue Brewing Company, or something like that.
I believe you're correct.
Woodward Avenue. No, just brewing. Woodward Avenue Brew. I can't talk, my friend. Oh, there's a big-ass sticker. Yeah, Woodward Avenue Brewers.
Yeah.
And it was directly next door to the venue that we were going to go see the concert at. So we're like, well, for sure, if we're going to stop and get a quick bite to eat, it might as well be in a brewery.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we have a problem, guys.
Well, I mean, we didn't know. Did we know it was right next door when we first went in?
No idea.
Okay,
we did not know.
I didn't think so.
We didn't know until we sat down at the bar and ordered. And I was like, all right, where's the venue at?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Of course, that problem was we were thirsty and starving.
Well, yeah, as gentlemen will be,
Yes,
I mean,
indeed.
we did walk a whole, half block. I mean.
Oh, dude, I was spent.
After that, we needed to, stop and, pit stop and refill or rehydrate and, fill our tum-tums. So,
yeah. You know that, like, crazy race through Baja, California?
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't think they're the same thing.
Oh, I know. We were in much worse shape.
Yeah, exactly. We were so thirsty when we sat down.
I know, right? I was like, God, it's like a desert in my face.
No, it was awful. Luckily, immediately someone came up basically and was like, hey, what can I get for you? And we're like, we don't have a clue because we've never been here.
Yeah, like we've never been here before.
Yeah.
And we should have done the move like my wife does.
Yeah.
My favorite game. Bring me all your beers.
Right.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But we did it. We both got our own individual flights, and we got some duplicate beers, and we had some other beers and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But man, the guy was like, because we had asked like, well, what do you recommend? Because the bartender was cool. I never caught his name.
No, I didn't either.
But he's like, oh, you for sure got to get the Ramazero. It's their double IPA,
which we were both going to get anyway.
I
was actually going to just straight up order a pint of it.
Yeah. But it was great because the guy was like, oh, yeah, when this keg is gone, I might cry. We're like, oh, shit. Okay, well, we definitely got to try this.
Right, because the way he made it sound, it didn't sound like it's an all year, like always on tap beer.
Yeah, it sounds like a seasonal situation.
Right.
And it was great because when he brought our paddles over, which was actually cool because they're beer paddles. Normally they're like a wooden paddle like you'd beat somebody's ass with or haze them into your fraternity with, right?
Right. Freshman! Yeah.
Exactly. But their paddles were, it was like a record.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool.
That was really cool, yeah. And then they just write on the thing with like a white pencil, what beers you were having. So
yeah, it was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
But
that, and when they brought the menu to us, it was on a license plate.
Yeah, clipped the license plate. It was pretty neat. It was a cool place.
It was kind of cool, yeah.
But so the guy brings us to our paddles, and then he just kind of hung out. And we both assumed, because he was like waiting for us to try that Ramazero, which we did, and it was amazing.
Yeah, we both loved
it. I'm pretty sure I took a sip and looked at the guy. I'm like, man, that's good. And he just went, right?
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, and then he was standing there talking to us for a while, and then they got like slammed.
Yeah, they got super busy.
Yeah, and he was running around like a maniac from that point. He must have been a manager, because he seemed to be the director of the floor.
Yeah, people kept coming in and asking him questions and referring to him about nonsense. I agree with you.
Right. At first, I was kind of wondering if maybe he was either an owner or a
brewer or something.
Yeah.
He kind of had the look.
He really did. And the way he was talking to us, I kind of felt like it. He's just probably, very well versed on his, on the product they're slanging. So.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah.
But yeah, we also got some food there because we were starving. And man, I got what's called a Baltimore dip. It was basically like your classic French dip sandwich, but it was on a round roll. It had this pepper jack cheese. It was insane.
A round roll the size of your head.
Yeah, exactly. Because they gave me a cup of au jus. And the sandwich is so big, there's no way I could have dunked that in there. It'd be like having like Oreo cookies and you're trying to get into a thimble of like milk.
Yeah,
Really,
it was.
So I had to slice my sandwich in half.
Well, not to mention the enormity of that sandwich. I don't know that I would have wanted to pick that whole thing up and dunk it in something. It seems like
for sure.
Easier to navigate once you halved it.
And the one, I mean, Brian and I, we love sitting at the bar. It's like our jam. You sit down and you're like, it's like sitting in a lazy boy when you get home. Right? It's just there. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, the best part is that you don't have to fight through anybody to order a beer. That's my favorite part. Yeah.
And a lot of times it's basically because, I mean, if you're not in the know, a lot of people are like, oh, you can eat at the bar? I had no idea. Typically, you can just walk up to the bar, sit down, they hand you a menu if you ask them, and you can eat right there instead of waiting for a table.
Yep.
It's just a beautiful thing.
Plus, we get to talk to the bartender or whoever,
Which is kind of like what we like to do.
Yeah.
And but the disadvantage of sitting at the bar is they have the part where you lean your forearms on. And when it comes to eating big old messy sandwiches, that don't work out so well.
Right, because it's angled toward the floor, essentially.
Yeah, and it's like a foot and a half away from you, and the sandwich is trying to come apart. I mean, I got these like honey baked ham calves now.
Yeah.
Because I was doing calf raises to eat my sandwich.
You were. I figured you were just going to climb into the au jus and pull the sandwich in with you.
I never thought about doing an au jus hot tub.
Yeah, and
that would be amazing.
Just eat your way out,
Yeah, that would be amazing. Plus, it'd probably be good for my skin and stuff. Although I don't know about au jus, like in my pee hole. That sounds awful. Because I'm definitely getting in that nude.
Of course.
I'm just saying.
Maybe you don't want to go 100% nude. Maybe you want to, cover up, your pee hole that way.
No.
No,
go big or go home.
All right. Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yikes.
You only live once, man.
I guess. I know. I didn't have that option, but I almost had to climb into my sandwich, which was an Italian sub, and that thing was enormous. Like it was probably a 6-7 inch roll, basically.
Right.
But it was just freaking packed with various meats and, lettuce and what have you. And whatever sauce they put on it, I don't even know, but it was awesome. But man, I couldn't close that sandwich. It was something. And it was, boy, I'll tell you what, housed that thing and had to do the old, had to hold on to that sandwich all the way to completion.
Yeah, because if you let go of a sandwich like that, it's over.
Oh, yeah. It was going to just fall all over the place. And I was like, nope, I'm in this for the long haul. There's no breaks.
It's kind of like when you have a sandwich that delicious and that's stacked with toppings and meats and sauces. It's like wrestling a gator.
It was, yeah.
You don't let go of that fucker until it's over.
No. It was, I actually had to, it was so big I had to take bites to take another bite.
Exactly. Now you know how Flash's mom feels.
Yikes. Mr. Zoom.
Mr. Zoom.
Oh,
there really needs to be named a beer.
Yeah.
Speaking of beer, it's a great idea.
Oh, this is going to be a shit show.
But the Woodward Avenue Brewing, I would for sure go back.
Yeah.
It was the food is good. I think pretty much every beer we had was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think maybe the pale ale you got I thought was kind of meh.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's something that if someone handed me, I'm like, oh, cool, and I'll drink it.
Well, I put it this way: if you like pale ales, you probably like it. We're just not really pale ale connoisseurs.
Yeah, the same with the because what do we got here? Ooh, peachy pom pom. Because I asked the bartender, because I had one more slot to fill in my paddle, and I'm like, well, what should I get? And he suggested the Hefeweizen. Yeah. Which I'm not a huge Hefeweizen guy.
Right.
But, the guy's got a beard. He works here. Clearly, he knows his shit.
Right.
And, in hindsight, I probably would have got another one of those double IPAs.
Yeah, because when I got to I picked the pale ale, I was just looking at the menu going, because I didn't really want any of the others, aside from just trying them to see how they are. And he was like, I can just throw another Ramazero on there, and I should have done that as well.
That would have been the smart move.
Yeah.
But, we're not smart people.
No.
But, I don't know. I thought it was awesome.
I did too. I really liked the place. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So we, cash out, get our shit out, and get the fuck out of there. Although, side note, there's a guy that came up there and just sat against the wall that had the most beautiful afro I've ever seen in my life. The thing was enormous.
Did I see this?
I hope so, because I was like, dude, that guy's afro is enormous.
Oh, that's right, I did. I turned around and saw it.
Yeah. He basically looked like a full bloom dandelion. We were ready to make a wish. It was insane.
Yes.
Anywho, but we go to leave. I thought for sure you're doing a header out that door.
Yeah, there was this giant step down that I totally forgot about, because obviously we went in and out the same door. And on the way in, you see it and you step up, On the way out, I totally forgot about it. And luckily, I was able to, hold on to the door and not eat concrete, because that's what would have happened otherwise.
Yeah, especially, it would have been horrible if you would have face planted next to the smoking ladies out there.
Right.
And I'm not saying smoking looks.
No.
Like just smoking, like they're killing their lungs.
Yeah, cigarette toes.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't terrible, but,
I hadn't had enough
still.
beers. Yeah.
You really want to face plant with a couple of vaginas right there?
Probably not. Not unless I'm trying to pull the old creep move and, oops, I've fallen, and look up their skirt.
Like, oh, geez.
Yeah. But, I'm not.
Probably would have curb stomped you with their thigh-high boots.
Probably. No, it was funny, though, because the woman, the older one of the two, I think, she looked at us and was like, now be careful, boys, as we're walking down the street, because I'm sure she thought I was drunk.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, you went through that door like Farley.
I really did. That's why
it was
I said,
impressive.
If there wouldn't have been a bar on the inside of that door, I would have eaten the concrete.
It would have been over.
Because, dude, I was totally, I was so far over my feet, it wouldn't have, it was right down to the face,
Like, I would have heard about it from, what'd you do to Brian? God, his face is all fucked up.
It would have been.
I don't know. It's crazy. He's going as Two-Face for Halloween.
Well, the best part would have been if I had face planted, I still would have gone to the show next door.
Well, yeah, for sure. But would that have been the best part?
I mean, we could retell the story and say that I did, but
Well, fair enough.
Yeah, that was an adventure, though.
It certainly was. Well, what sucked though is because like a typical human, I'm like, oh, the street's over here, so that's where the front door is. So we go to the front of the building,
right?
And we find this lovely sign. It's like, hey, dick faces, you looking for this place? Entrance is in the rear. It's like, God damn. So we had to walk past the women that already thought we were fucking hammered.
Who probably were like, these guys don't know where they're going either.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Although, I will say this. I on purpose walked, extra, casual as I was leaning past or walking past them, you know, so that they would see that I wasn't hammered. I don't know why. Like, I don't give two shits what they think, but
exactly. We'll never see them again.
No.
But I hear you.
Yeah. And I wasn't anywhere near, you know, because we had just had 5 samples of beer is all we had, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't that. And by putting that giant sandwich in my stomach, I could have probably drank a keg and still been sober.
Oh yeah, for sure. That big old sandwich is like that train brake. Sparks are flying off it, you know?
Yeah. I pretty much ate a sponge the size of my body. So, you know.
Yes, exactly.
I could have soaked a lot up.
But, you know, so we walk into the venue thinking like, fuck, concert's already going on. And for sure we were wrong.
Yeah.
There was probably, 15 people standing around?
Well, and it was funny too, because door was at 8. It was 9 when we walked
in? It was, 9 or maybe 9:15 even.
Yeah.
Because we didn't walk into the brewery till almost 8.
Yeah. Yeah, because we actually took 1 second and we're like, and then we were like, what are we doing? And went in.
Yeah, beer and food. Come on now.
Yeah. I was like, should we? Yeah. So I'm glad we did because there was nothing to eat at the bar. So. No,
yeah, I'm glad. Well, they had pizza that was underneath that, you know, awful hot lamp.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That would have been excellent, I'm sure.
Goddamn hot lamp pizza.
Mm-mm.
You know, like, I really want to watch this concert and stuff, but I also kind of want to shit blood. Perfect.
Yeah, but in fairness, we were going to be drinking, so that'll kill most of the bacteria.
Good point. It's like kind of like kombucha.
Yeah. Just,
or something.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
But yeah, walk in. There's probably 50. And I was thinking, like, is this even happening tonight? But there was a band set up on stage.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck? Oh, I didn't realize Jeannie left to go pick up Logan. He just got off of work. He's working. Anywho, but it's a good thing because that everything was delayed because the opening band was the band we paid money to see.
Right.
Which I would have been real shitty if we would have missed out on the show that we were like driving to Detroit specifically for the Braided Veins.
Yeah, because we're standing in there and all of a sudden we see, you know, Jonathan Diener get up behind the drum kit and I'm like, are they playing? And then we see the rest of the band get up there and we're like, oh, I guess they're opening. Or whatever, yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't think they were because like the alert I got was Braided Veins playing and like I said, it looked like in the app.
Yeah.
Oh, they're headlining. Nope.
Yep.
It must be because I followed them in that app that it's like.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. Just lets you know when they're playing. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, but show kicked off and it was, they put on a great little old set there.
Yep.
In my humble opinion.
Yep. I agree.
Which was nice.
Yeah. Ended up being the best sounding band of the night, but I think you nailed it when you pointed out that it probably was because we were familiar with their songs.
Yeah. Because they're like, oh, I know this one. Oh, I know this one too.
Yep.
Yeah. Because every other band that played we'd never heard of before.
Right.
Which is fine.
Yep.
It's how you discover fresh, funky music, right?
True enough.
And we also found out why the show was delayed.
Yeah.
The second band was playing.
Yeah.
And then like someone was like, "Hey, like stretch it out, go longer," and because the third band was still en route.
Yeah.
And I wish I could remember the name of the bands now. It's all drawn a blank except for the headliner.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
That's all right. But so they're playing, and the guy was finally like, "Yeah, we can do one more. This guy's about to die," pointing at the drummer.
And boy, did he look like
half
it.
dead.
Yeah.
So they played one more, and then the third band came in, which apparently was driving from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Right.
The fuck was that noise?
Good question. I don't know.
So like, what the hell was that? Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
Holy shit. The fuck was... Okay, anyway. So they're driving from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay, really quick. The second band was Vincas. Or Vincas. Vincas. The third band, the one that was driving, was Multicult.
Okay, so Multicult was coming from Minneapolis, and they didn't realize they had to take a ferry across Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
And that fucked everything up, apparently.
Yeah, it certainly did.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm glad they got there because I really liked them.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them. I thought I was really fascinated by their bassist because she was a little fidget of a woman, and her bass guitar was probably bigger than she was.
I don't think you're wrong with that. I think it probably weighed as much as she does.
Yeah, it was. I mean, if you stood it up on its end, it had to be as tall as she was.
It was pretty close, if not. Yeah.
She was itty bitty, and she shredded on it.
Yeah. Yeah, she was really good. Yeah. I mean, they were. I enjoyed them too.
Although it was funny watching him play because the lead singer, he's singing, he's playing guitar, he's headbanging, and about every 20 seconds, he quickly takes his hand off his guitar, pushes glasses up his nose. Like, just take them off.
Seriously.
Do you really need to see anything?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was kind of thinking was like, if he's, going to be banging his head like that, probably take the glasses off.
Or get a geek strap. Or get some contact lenses.
I like the geek strap idea. I think that was the way to go.
Right? I mean, I don't know if he's going with like glasses for the look.
Well, given, how they did those like intro sounds and stuff before the songs, I think the geek strap kind of fit.
Yeah. That was annoying.
I didn't love that. It was, but other than that, I dug them.
Yeah, because it was like in between songs, it was like, wow, 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 and then they start playing again. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really odd because it actually like it kind of took us out of it a little bit because we both almost every time kind of looked at each other like, why are they doing
this? The fuck?
And then
exactly.
And then they'd start playing again and we're like, yeah, back into it. So it was, it was kind of weird.
Wobble, 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 wobble. It's like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Right.
But what melted my brain a little bit is because I was looking these bands up on Spotify the next morning.
Yeah.
And I had to text you, of course. Because that same band that drove from Minneapolis to Ferndale, Michigan, had the next day a concert in Nashville.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is, and they're not like young folks.
No. Well, and here's the other
thing. They were
thing.
Probably our age or a little older.
Yeah, and I don't know what kind of crowds they drew at the other one. There weren't a ton of people at this one. By the end, it had a decent amount in it. But, it was just like, God, that's so, I mean, I know that's what you do when you're doing this. That's the hustle, is you go place to place and you make nothing, but it's about the music and, exposure and what have you. But it was just like, man, it was like, honestly, when Braid Vein started, there was almost nobody in the place.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of depressing a little bit.
We could have walked right up to the front of the stage when they started playing without moving anybody.
Well, I would need a couple of, strapping young man to move my my au jus hot tub up there, but yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was so MVP award to them for fucking driving all that way.
Yeah, no shit.
Because man,
driving all the way and playing a concert they played for maybe a half hour, 35 minutes.
Yeah. Just
to pack up and then drive to fucking Nashville.
Right? Man.
It sounds crazy.
That's what I said. I mean, I know that's the hustle. That's what you do. But still, kudos to them for doing it, and not sounding like shit. It's not like they got on stage and were tired or anything. They put on a good show.
Yeah.
It's not like they were just up there mailing it in or something. They were really. Was it them or was it the Vinkas? I think it was the Vinkas where the drummer looked like he was going to destroy his drum kit. Because he was banging it so hard.
Yeah, I think it was because they all thought he was going to die.
Yeah.
He was definitely aggressively drumming. Well, they were loud as fuck, too.
Yeah, that was funny because when they were doing their sound check, the singer who also plays bass, he was like, testing his bass. And when he first starts, it's got that real fuzzy bass sound. But even before he started playing, you could hear that. And we're like, oh boy.
Yeah, like we're in for this one.
Yeah.
Like I told you my fucking pant legs. I could feel them vibrating against my skin.
I felt like I was getting punched in the chest by the sound, which was
it was pretty wild.
Which I like. I think that's kind of a cool thing about the small venues is that you do get those. Like in an arena, you'll never feel that unless you're right in front.
Right.
Like you can't be as far back as we were at an arena and still really, it just doesn't work the same because there's so much more room for the sound to bounce around. But yeah, like I said, I thought that was kind of cool.
But I also got to do a shout out to my MVP for the evening.
Oh,
best roadie ever.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were going to shout out. Okay.
Oh, well, now I got to know. Who are you thinking?
I thought you were going to shout out Sad Guy.
Oh my God! I almost forgot about Sad Guy. All right, let's put a pin in Rhodey.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Sad Guy. So when we first walked in, like I said, there's probably 15 of us. Mm-hmm. I thought for sure this guy was in one of the bands because there's a dude sitting stage right in a booth all by himself with like a Coke.
Yep.
And he just kept staring kind of at the Coke, and he'd kind of look around, he'd look at the Coke, he'd drink some of it, and he just sat there. Mm-hmm. And sat there. And then like Braided Veins started playing, and he just sat there. So I was like, for sure he's part of one of these bands.
Yeah. Like he's waiting either that or he's like either a roadie for like them or he's waiting for the next band so he can help set gear up or whatever. Because I kept looking over at him too, and you're right, he was just staring at that Coke the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless
staring.
Maybe he was coming down.
Maybe. Because he for sure wasn't part of any of the bands.
Nope. And he wasn't drinking then, aside from that Coke. Later, yes. he was slinging, big dumb PBRs, but.
And as far as I could tell, unless he was waiting for friends, he was there by himself.
Yeah, because he stood on a ramp that was right near us for almost the whole time by himself. It was
weird.
Yeah.
Sad guy.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately, I noticed him 5 seconds too late.
Yeah.
Because Braided Veins is jamming on stage. And I just happened to glance over and saw him just sitting there. And I'm like, I need video of this. And as soon as I pulled up my phone and opened up Snapchat to start recording, he got up. It's like, you son of a bitch.
Like he knew he was spotted,
Yeah, exactly.
Like when you're
creep sense tingling.
You're in the wild and you step on a twig and it cracks and the deer looks right at you and then runs.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, God damn it, he caught my scent.
Yep.
But no, shout out to my favorite roadie. Because there's this bearded older dude just wearing a plain white t-shirt, running around, helping all the bands out, break down, set up. He's getting everyone beers.
Dude, and every time he went by us, he
had a fistful of PBRs.
Yeah, tall boys, not just small cans, but tall boys. Yeah.
Yeah. Like easily 4 or 5 every time we walked by.
Exactly, easily. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we didn't realize until the headliner came on stage that those were probably all for him.
Yeah.
Because he was the lead singer of the headlining band.
Child Bite. Yeah.
Child Bite.
Yep.
And I unfortunately, I wasn't familiar with their music. Put on a fun show.
Boy,
the dude was a fucking maniac.
He's an animal for sure. What was funny, though, is, it was funny because we, before they started playing, they were putting a banner up, and I'm kind of like, really? Why are you putting a banner up? It's like, just play. We all know
there's like 30 people here.
Yeah. So anyway, he puts up, this guy puts up the banner, and then we see him, and we're just like, wow, that guy's, and we're laughing because at one point he looked like he was leaning way over, like he might take a header off of.
Yeah, because he had to climb up on the stack.
Yeah.
To put the banner up.
Right.
Like, he couldn't just reach it. He had to climb on top of speakers and shit.
Yeah, and we're like, oh, God, this guy's going to take a header off of this thing, and he's going to die.
Yeah.
But no,
lead singer.
Got it straightened out, and then he's standing on stage, and we're both like, is he the singer?
Yeah, because, like, the drummer was, like, warming up, and the bass player was warming, and the guitarist warming up, and we're like, wait a minute, where's the... Oh, my God, it's the roadie.
Yeah.
The guy that's been running around all day helping bands unload their gear and
yeah, it was something because he was. I mean, seriously, MVP on the night.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
He really was, and for the amount of beers we saw him carrying and such, I mean, and he had more on stage with him.
Yes.
So yeah.
I mean, when they started playing, he definitely had a stage presence.
Oh yeah.
Because he didn't play anything, but except they had one of those, like, he had like kind of like a soundboard, so he'd be like, rah! Into it, and then it would loop, rah, 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 you know.
Like if you're familiar with Reggie Watts, he does that kind of stuff. Where
exactly.
Yeah,
right.
talk into it, and then it loops, and then he sings over it or whatever, yeah.
But, he was all over the place, like spitting and snot rocketing.
Oh, God, he's such an animal, yeah.
He at one point went out into the crowd, and he didn't have a wireless mic.
No, he sure didn't.
And he went out in the crowd, and it was great because he's walking through the crowd singing, and he tripped a dude and like wrapped the guy up in the mic cord and took the guy out.
Yeah.
And it was more entertaining to watch his band kind of just stare at him like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
As they were playing still.
Right.
And I watched the dude that he pulled, because it was the guy in the like members only jacket that like beeline to the front, was like rocking out with the worst hairdo I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he looked like if Macho Man would have grown his hair like halfway down his back.
Yeah, exactly. Like if he had that Macho Man sick ass mullet.
Yeah.
But he like really like Pantene Pro V'd it.
It was very. It looked very soft.
Yeah, like what's that Australian horse shampoo that people use? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I can't think.
It's like Great Manes or something stupid, like Secretariat's Best.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he used some product. Is what we're saying.
Mane and tail.
Mane and tail, yeah. He for sure mane and tailed. Like whatever he spent on his hair product, he took it directly out of his clothing budget.
Yeah.
Because his clothing was awful. But that's the guy he took out, which, I mean, if there was if there was sweet baby Jesus in heaven, he would have busted his head on the concrete and died on the spot. Because I just despise that guy for some reason.
Yeah, you really did.
Yeah, super judging over here. Yeah. But the whole band's staring at him. This guy just eats it.
Yeah.
And then after the song's over, the guy's just like, "Are you okay?" And of course the guy's like, and they continue playing.
Right.
But I mean, man, that guy was an animal, drinking PBRs and then drop kicking the cans into the crowd.
Yeah. I know I put up a short video of him on my Instagram. I don't know if you put that up or not.
I put it up on my Snapchat, so it's long gone now.
Well, if you follow me on Instagram, dig a few posts back and you can find it. It's just him just moving all over the stage, basically. It was something, because he had way more energy than I thought he was going to have.
And he looks like an older man.
Yeah. Now, it could be that he's not really that old. It's just, grayed out.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah.
This is possible.
It was impressive. I mean, hats off to him for the performance he gave.
It was certainly fun to watch.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
And they weren't bad. It's not like, the band was bad at all. We had a good time through their set and stuff, but a lot of it was just laughing at his antics.
Can we real quick talk about Sport Coat Guy?
Sport Coat Guy. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So this guy showed up. He's in basically a suit. I can't remember if his suit pants matched his sport coat or if he had jeans on.
I don't think they were. It's weird because I almost think that they're closer to, they were either dress pants or they were like track pants, because they had a little sheen to them, from being like a polyester blend of some sort. But I don't know. I didn't get a real good look at those. He was rocking white tennis shoes though, but he looked like he was wearing like 90-year-old person walking shoes.
Okay. Orthopedics.
Yeah, they were something.
Like, my plantar fasciitis is acting up.
Yeah, I mean,
I gotta put on my orthopedics if I want to go to the show.
Yeah, it's not like he was. The shoes were all white, and it's not like they were like Jordans or something like that. Something hip and cool or whatever. They were seriously like, I don't even know what brand they were, but they look like something you would buy when you go into a place and go to the walking shoe section.
Right? Like, I need something to support my arches. Mm-hmm. When I'm power walking down the boardwalk.
Yes. So anyway, back to his suit coat.
So, yeah, he had on his white shoes, his weird pants, black T-shirt, gold chain.
Yep.
Suit coat. Yep. Suit jacket.
Suit jacket, yeah.
Until he walks by you. And his entire back of his suit jacket is just like band patches. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if this guy, like, he goes to see the show and he buys a patch, he attaches it to his suit coat, and that's like his Cub Scout merit badge sash for bands, basically.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It was not a good look, though. I'll tell you that.
Like, if there is an Eagle Scout for douchery, it's this guy.
Yeah. I mean, you see patches a lot of times at shows, on jackets, but they're generally like jean jackets. Or
like a Stone Cold vest.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, this was an honest suit coat with that on the back. I don't know exactly what he was going for with that look, but
I didn't comprehend it myself.
Yeah. Hey, what are you gonna
do? Maybe we're not cool, Brian.
I think that's what it is. No, I don't think that's what this is.
We might be showing our age, my friend.
Well, we are, but I don't think we're wrong on this one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he was something else, though.
It was definitely something else.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. But all in all, I enjoyed it, especially for a $10 ticket. I enjoyed myself.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah. The venue, because it was right next door to the brewery we went to, was owned by the brewery. Same people owned it, and they had some of their beers on tap, although I did not partake because
I didn't either.
This guy was driving. So I had one, what the fuck was it called? An Irish Mule?
Yep.
It's like a Moscow Mule, but they poured sweet, delicious Jameson in it.
They certainly did. Yep.
And then I just drank water because, I got to be responsible, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I overpaid for Big Dumb PBR, so.
Yeah, because their Big Dumb PBRs are like $6.
Yeah, and the worst part was that I saw people walking around with regular size PBRs. And I went up and I was like, hey, how much is a, small PBR? Because I really didn't want to pay $6 for a PBR. And the bartender was like, oh, we don't sell the small ones during shows. And I'm like, they're everywhere, though.
Like, listen up, exposed midriff. I see them all over the place.
Yeah, so the only thing I can think of is that they allow the bands to have them,
Right.
And maybe that's it. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Whatever. So, anyway, I drank my Big Dumb PBR and, whatever.
It was a good night.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. Drove home, got stuck behind some asshole doing like 20 miles an hour on the highway with their four ways on. Really was wishing for a Mad Max car at the time.
Yeah. I don't know if they had a blown tire or if they were just on a donut and taking it easy, but...
Once again, assholes.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they were in front of us.
Right. Well, the worst part of it was that we were in a single lane area with barricades on either side of us,
Yeah, there's nothing we could do, and it turned into a goddamn parade route.
Yeah, it did. There was no shoulder or nothing where you could pass. It was just, it sucked until we could get around them.
And I was throwing beads, no titties. It's like, what is this? This is bullshit.
Yep.
Goddamn bullshit.
Yep.
But we made it home. All was well. And then we went back to Detroit the next day.
Which is kind of funny because we did joke on the way home or on the way up there, one of the two, when I was like, we should just stay and have everyone meet us up here.
It would have been the best move, right?
Yeah. So we could have gotten hammered. I mean, gotten a good night's sleep.
Indeed. Like classic gentlemen,
yes.
Classy gentlemen
right.
like we are.
Right. Put on our starched nightcaps and, full-length pajamas and gone right to bed.
Definitely.
Yeah. Probably not.
One of those, like, candles with, like, on the little saucer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. After
Which doesn't ever make sense to me.
What's that?
Because, like, you're wearing your PJs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's, like, a millimeter of cotton covering your body.
Yeah.
Yet you're stumbling through the dark with just hot wax and arms, like, away from you. Seems like a bad time.
They like to flirt with danger in those days.
Apparently.
Yeah.
What if I was going to say Scrooge McDuck. Mr. Scrooge. What if he slept in the nude? So he's wandering around with, like, Ghost of Christmas, and he's just butt-ass naked with hot wax inches from his body.
What if he's into the hot wax on his body?
Oh, jeez. Ghost of Christmas Present shows up, and he's like, oh, just dumps it on his chest.
Yeah. Oh, my.
Ghost scrams.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
You're not worth my effort.
Right?
I was going to show you all the cool things happening right now, but fuck you.
Yeah. I did not
you
sign
creep.
up for this.
Exactly. Scrooge is like, hey, Ghost, since we can, like, see stuff, why don't you take me over to this place? I want to peer through the window.
Or he does take him somewhere, and Scrooge is just, like, touching his nipples while he's looking.
It's like, oh. It's like, God damn it, I'm not the Ghost of Molesto Present.
Like, what are you doing?
Jesus Christ. I didn't sign up for this.
Yep.
Wow, that took a weird turn.
It really did take a turn, yeah. I don't know what happened there. So anyway, we went back to Detroit the next day. Yeah,
we went back to Detroit to celebrate your nephew, if you go back to Old Gravy Leg, wherever the fuck that episode was when I was continuously shitting my pants.
Spastic colon surprise.
There you go. He would hop on the mic for me every time I had an issue.
Yeah. Had to recuse yourself, yeah.
Yes. So your nephew and Big Dev from various programs.
Yeah.
And well, your nephew got some sort of, I don't know, alien virus or something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Something went sideways in his guts.
Yeah, something went terribly wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the revenge of old Gravy Lake. That's what that is.
It must have been from all that fun he was making,
Yep. See what happens? The ghost of Gravy Lake.
It only took like 5 years to catch up.
I know, right? It's slow when you're duck walking with your pants around your ankles. It's a shitty ghost.
So true. So yeah, anyway, he couldn't make it, but we had decided to go to a barbecue place. Yeah, in
Trenton is called quote unquote Downriver, Detroit.
Yeah.
But the barbecue place is all right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We met Dev and his buddy whose name I'm
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Dev and Ryan, and Dev's sister was there. I don't know if he wants to put her name out there or not.
Yeah, fair enough.
And we had a grand old time. It was, myself, yourself, Lady Space Violence from Hobie, and Soundboard T.
Yep.
And man, we put some hurting on some barbecue.
We did, and I also had a delicious Dirty Bastard while we were there too. So.
Yeah, I had a nice big old all day and a Bloody Mary, and it was delightful.
Yeah, Bloody Mary looked pretty good.
It was really good. Yeah, it was delicious. You see, like Gene and I, we got the barbecue dinner for two. You would think that was made for two people, not for like a family of five. The amount of food that came out was insane.
I easily could have eaten off of what you guys didn't eat and gotten full, and there still would have been some left.
Yeah, because just the meat portion was like a half a rack of ribs, pulled pork, brisket, smoked sausage, and half a chicken.
Yeah.
It was insane. I'm like, how is this for fucking two?
Yeah.
They must grow them big in Trent.
Well, if they didn't start off big, then they...
Well, because it came with sides, too.
Yeah.
It was nutty.
Yep. That's what blew me away when I got that. Because I got macaroni and cheese, but it had brisket and bacon and jalapenos in it. And it came with the side. And I'm like, really? And I put a good hurt on that macaroni and cheese, but I still brought, 2/3 of it home?
Yeah, dude, that skillet they dropped off in front of you, I was like, oh, they're going to bring the skillet out and then a plate and scoop them out of skillet. Yeah. Because that must be the skillet they make it in. Nah, that's serving, buddy.
Yeah. Whew. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was more than happy to have it again later, but.
Oh, it looked delicious.
It was good, yeah.
But good Lord.
Yeah.
Portions. Holy shit. Welcome to America.
Yeah, right.
That was something.
It was. It certainly was. Yep. So
wow. So the barbecue is good. We got to see Dev's full-blown sheriff mustache and full regalia.
That was glorious. Yeah.
It's delicious. Mm-hmm. But we decided to go bowling then too. Well, Dev picked the place.
Yeah.
It's called 10 Pins of Trenton, and boy was it Trenton. There was a lot of interesting folk in there.
Yeah. But it's not like the place was a rundown dump or something. I mean, it was a nice looking alley.
It was a nice alley. It was nice.
Or house, I mean.
And it was cool because it was the last day of old school bowling time, whatever the fuck they called it.
Yeah.
So it was $1 shoe rental, $1 games, $1 domestic beers, and I think $1 hot dogs, which I'm never trusting that. But I will take all your free chili. But so yeah, I immediately switched to Miller Lite because Miller Lite's for $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if it tastes like my own urine. I'm in.
Yeah.
It's $1.
Yep. I was drinking. I think I drank Bud Light. I don't even remember. Yeah, it was Bud Light I drank.
Well, Blue Healer, thanks to Nickel.
Right. But again.
Fucking right. Thanks, Doc.
But yeah, like you said, the price was right.
Yeah. But Jeannie and Dev both got White Russians.
Right.
And they said they were delicious, and they put them down. And Jeannie was like, "Hey, honey, go get Dev another White Russians." I was like, "All right, I got 2." So I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna get her a drink too." And she did not want another White Russian.
Not at all. Yeah.
So I got them both White Russians. And she's like, I don't want this, and gave it to Deb. So he drank that one. Then he drank another one. And he was just at this point, he's like, this dairy is a terrible idea. This is not good. So he ordered a beer.
Yeah.
Which, of course, I told our waitress, like, hey, it's his birthday. So she dropped him off a White Russian. She's like, here's his birthday drink, despite the fact he ordered a Bud Light.
So he drank another one.
It was terrific.
Yeah, and then I was making the joke that I was going to go get him one, and obviously saying it loud enough he could hear it, and I didn't because he had quite a few at that point. I didn't want to. Oh,
it would have been terrific if you would have got him one too.
I didn't want to push him over the edge or something though. That's a lot of dairy,
It was a lot of milk, a lot of dairy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love me a White Russian, but if you go back a couple years, like if you look on Salty Language Facebook page, the video's there. Me drunk on White Russians in Jamaica, peeing in the sand.
Yep.
That's what White Russians will do to you.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times.
Well, then after that, oddly enough, on our way home the day before, we happened to notice there was a brewery that we passed called Front Street.
Fort Street.
Fort Street. Sorry, yeah, Fort Street.
Yeah, Fort Street Brewing.
Yep.
And lo and behold, it was like 7 miles away from the bowling alley.
Convenient.
How convenient. So
also,
what do we do, Brian?
Real quick before that, can we talk about all the fucking lights in Trenton? Or that area?
Yes, let's rewind this before we get to Fort Street.
Sweet Christmas.
So when we were driving home in the crisp early morning after the concert,
it was too, yeah.
We had to take some back roads because everything's fucked up with construction right now. And for some reason, basically almost every business has bright ass LED lights in their windows.
Yeah, like lining the windows.
Like bordering the window.
Yeah. Like you would with like Christmas lights.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We didn't, and it was like everywhere. We didn't understand it.
And some of the gas stations had like 5-6 windows with these all over them.
Yeah, and they're open, and we figured it's a Detroit thing because I've been looking around this week, and there's a couple businesses around town that have it like that, but it's not nearly.
Well, and the thing was, when we went a couple streets past Fort Street, it was gone. There were no more. It must just be a Fort Street kind of deal.
Right.
Or something. I don't know. That was weird. I should have gotten pictures of it. I certainly had plenty of opportunities.
It was definitely Bizarro World.
Yeah. So, okay, anyway, back to Fort Street Brewery.
But yeah, so we went up the road, Fort Street Brewing, because, we got to play our favorite game.
Yep.
Especially when my wife's there.
Yep.
We got to play We Want All Your Beers. And this breweries, they specialize in like casks.
Yeah.
So they cask age, small batch beer, whatever. And I think we had a flight of 15 beers, I believe.
Yeah, because, I think I did the math and it was, I think between the 2 days I had 20 or 21 different beers.
There you go.
So I think it was 15 there.
And this place, it was not as good as Woodward.
No.
There's some of the beers I was like, this is the hottest of garbage in my mouth right now.
But in fairness, most of the beers that were like that, are the, what do you call it? Like where they're trying something different,
Yeah, like experimental things.
Yeah, exactly. They weren't necessarily their like standards or whatever, I think, and some of it was just not our bag.
Cup OT.
Yeah, like the root beer one.
But I mean, all in all, I dug the place with one glaring exception. Yes. Glaring. Is in the corner. They had probably our favorite childhood instrument ever.
Absolutely.
Bubble hockey.
Yeah. We used to play that so much at Major Magics when you and I were kids, or me and my nephew were, there. And although the one they had at Major Magics was USA versus Russia,
Oh, yeah, as it should be.
And nobody ever wanted to be Russia. It was always, Like, damn it.
Yeah, what am I, a commie bastard?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, for those not to know, bubble hockey is basically like a foosball table, but it's hockey and it's got a big plastic dome over top, so you don't get straight up jacked by the puck.
Right. Hence bubble hockey.
Hence bubble hockey.
Yeah.
And we put our hard-earned dollar into that.
Yeah.
And it did not give us a puck.
No, and there was nowhere to get a puck. I just don't understand it. We looked that whole machine over at least 3 times.
Yeah, I was making sweet, like, hand love to it.
You were, yeah. You were getting very handsy with it.
And there's no button to, like, shoot a puck. There was nothing.
Nope.
It was very frustrating because,
on the ones we played before, there's usually a button, like, it's usually in the middle on the side where you hit it.
Yeah, it's like, drop the puck, basically.
Right, but the puck shoots up in the middle of the table from a hole in the table, and then, it's game on. And
yes.
Nope.
Yeah. What a disappointment that was.
We were both crushed by that.
Yes.
They're lucky we almost tore the place asunder after that.
I mean, the only thing that saved me was, I was, wasn't driving, so I was feeling all right.
Yeah.
And the Silver Fox with his Latin bitches.
Yeah.
There was this older gentleman with 2 young Latin ladies that they were heavily tattooed and looks like they really enjoyed burritos. Man, I don't know what happened up there, because I think they all left together, but he was trying to get a fiesta going.
Yeah, he was.
It was fun to watch. I love doing shit. Just people watching is like my favorite thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to watch him a whole lot because he was behind me. Well, not directly, but, I would have had to turn around. So
it would have been crane your neck in some bizarre fashion.
Well, yeah, it would have been way more obvious.
That would have been funnier, though.
Yeah, just glare at him the whole time.
Awkwardly stare.
I could have used some of that bubble hockey rage.
I know, right?
Man.
Bubble hockey rage onto that bubble butt.
Yeah. Ugh.
But yeah. I mean, between the 2 days in Detroit, if I had my druthers, I would go back to Woodward Brewing.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Before Ford Street. Ford Street was all right.
Yeah, it was fine.
But I mean, I kind of like the interior of Ford Street better because it had a lot of tables and the bar was real big.
Yeah.
You could see all the cool brewing tanks and shit.
Yeah, that was
but
really
the
cool.
beer was way better at Woodward.
Yeah. So, well, and didn't the bartender at Woodward told us that their brewmaster came over from somewhere. I can't remember where though. Do you remember?
Greenbush, which is a great brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I'm a big fan of Greenbush.
Yeah. So that certainly helped their pedigree.
Definitely.
It is really weird though, like we mentioned that there were those 2 breweries there, and we've been to various beer fests and don't remember either place.
No, exactly. Yeah. Not at all. So. Jeannie, when she saw the sticker, was like, that looks familiar, but
would be funny is if I go through like the stuff that I've accumulated from the beer fest and I already have one of their stickers.
Yeah, really. Well, I mean, I think you nailed it. Was if they had a new brewmaster that the beers that we checked in, because I pulled up all their beers, I couldn't find anything I checked in, but I didn't scroll through everything.
Oh, right.
So maybe I had some of their beers before.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense.
But it's just but it's all diff or whatever,
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe they, whatever. Maybe they didn't do the beer fest, or I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because the place is it's a one-off, and they don't can or bottle anything.
Yeah, it's just if you want it, you have to go to the tap house.
Yeah, you have to go get a growler or a crowler or whatever, which I seriously contemplated while we were there. Until I saw, I was like, I really shouldn't spend $35 on beer.
Yeah, that Ramos Arrow was delicious, but $35 for a growler fill.
Yeah. It was worth it. I mean, because again,
I think it's unfortunately, you'd have to buy a new growler too, because it's not like you had one with you.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was like $7 a pint, so it was, like I
said,
and
that breakdown
right.
is worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was still the idea that it was $35 right then. It's like, nah, I probably shouldn't. Although you watch, next time we go up there or something, they won't have it anymore.
No, it'll be gone.
We'll just
stop. I mean, they had that tropical stout. It was kind of like a fruitcake almost.
That was
weird.
That was really different, but it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it, but it was a different kind of stout.
I don't think I'd want a whole pint of it, but
no,
it was definitely different, and it wasn't a bad different. You know, it wasn't a fuck you beer.
No, not at all.
So
still good though.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, oh man, and that's only half of the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Did you do anything Sunday?
No, I didn't do a damn thing Sunday. I actually deliberately did nothing on Sunday because
probably a good call.
Well, I'll tell you what I did on Sunday was I drank all the water because I hadn't had a whole lot of water the previous 2 days because we were constantly slinging a beer into our face. So, you know, I was like, I should probably rehydrate myself at this point.
I had that same intention, but we went up and did some cottaging. And, you know, I got up there and I was like, oh, look, all-day IPA. And I just started whacking down all-day IPAs.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Relaxing, you know, works up a thirst. I mean, what are you going to do?
It does.
Also, real quick, all day. So.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, I didn't want to miss that since we don't have
a
sound drop.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I didn't have to work the next day. Was at the cottage, just started, you know, housing beers. It was a good time. I mean, nothing terribly exciting happened. You know, we went out on a boat and whatever else. And yeah. But I mean, it was just whack. It's one of those things I woke up in the middle of the night, like, oh God, I feel like hot death and I'm so thirsty. And I fell back asleep and I woke up. I felt fine. It was like, thank God.
Okay. That's not how I expected it to go.
Clearly the devil visited me in the middle of the night and then went away.
Right. I totally expected that to go, you know, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was so thirsty. And then I woke up, you know, the next morning and felt so much worse.
Oh, no, I felt fine. It was great.
Nice.
Like it was Jeannie's birthday the next day.
Yeah.
You know, happy birthday. I can't even talk. Birthday violence lady. And we went out to breakfast. Yeah. This place is called Stogie's, and it's in this old farmhouse up there in Coldwater. It's really kind of cool. And they have this thing that's called like the big fucking breakfast or something, which I got.
Sure.
Because it comes with, you know, like eggs and meat and potatoes, and it comes with granola French toast, which is delicious because it's just French toast, and then like they put that eggy mix on it, and then they just like face plant that fucker in granola and then cook it.
That seems alright.
It's really good.
Yeah, that seems fine. Yeah.
But it comes with 4 pieces, and I'm like, oh, perfect. I'll order it, and then everybody in the family can have a piece.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, it works out well. But so the lady's going around, and she's asking everybody, like, oh, well, what sort of potato would you like? We have cubed, hash, or cakes. And it finally came to the point where, like, it came to me, and no one ordered cakes. And, like, Logan asked her, what's cakes? And potato cakes they take their garlic mashed potatoes and then cook them on the flat top. And make a potato pancake out of it.
Sure, yeah.
For sure ordered that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Life-changing event. It was delicious.
Those are so good. I've had them somewhere else before, and I've been so tempted to do it myself when we have like extra mashed potatoes, you know?
Yeah.
But I just never bother with it. But they're so good. Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to, you know, hash browns, throw them right in the garbage. Cubed, sorry. See ya. It's potato cakes for the win.
I agree. They're really good. Well, and it also helps that, like, when you make, like, mashed potatoes, like you said, with, like, garlic and whatnot, you know, you can enhance the flavor a whole lot better, you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because it'll all stick right into the potatoes, and then you just mash that sumbitch down. And
well, yeah, and then our waitress was like, because I'm eating them, she's like, what do you think of the potato cakes? And I'm like, oh, man, they're so good. And she's like, oh, my husband, because she must, like, her and her husband must be the owners, I'm guessing, or something. Okay. Because she's like, oh, my husband, he'll take these potato cakes and then he'll put beef stew on top of them.
That seems all right, too. Yeah.
Oh, my, yes. Yes, please.
That right there is life-changing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, that's fine. Please, right now, in my face.
I was so expecting you to have say something like, you know, my husband takes and puts a piece of ham between these.
Right?
Like, fuck yeah, I'm in.
Like, yeah, my husband, he cooks them up and then he eats them off my nipples. Be like, what?
Like,
what sort of waitress are you? What sort of establishment is this?
And what time
do
you
get into
off?
the back room?
Yeah. Exactly.
Just like that weird naked sushi shit. Which I like sushi. I don't know if I'd be wanting to pull it off of some pubis though.
Even for the story?
Well, maybe for the story.
All right. I figured so.
Yeah. This is not a bean sprout.
I'm pretty sure they require them to be smooth, don't they?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Weird, or they've got to have something over that because, that doesn't seem.
I've never had pubic sashimi. I don't know. Just saying. Yet.
I know what I'm doing for your birthday. No, you're not eating it off of me. Get that idea right.
Thank God. Like, goddamn right. And again.
Stupid sexy Stuart.
I bought the finest of Kroger sushi.
I can't afford Kroger sushi, dude. It's straight from the gas station.
It's just a can of tuna. Some Uncle Ben's.
No, it's canned sushi. Like you pop the
Did they
top.
make that?
I don't know.
I'm Googling it.
You fucking just pop the top off of it and it's got like 4 pieces in it or something. Oh God, that's just an awful thought.
I'm looking it up.
God, I hope it's not real.
I can't even type.
No, that'll happen.
Oh, it says canned sushi.
Oh God.
Survey says. Oh, it looks like it's a thing.
Oh my God. Make sure you include that link.
Assembly of canned tuna sushi rolls.
So
Look at that shit.
It's assembled in the can already, or you have to take it out and then put it together?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay. Because my idea was already put together. Because nothing says good sushi like, canning.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
All right. Fair enough.
I have no idea here because it's like it's recipes. Easy canned sushi. I don't. Oh, because you used canned tuna.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if it's a thing.
That's not as convenient as my idea.
No.
I mean,
not at all.
I'm just talking. You pull the top off like sardines and just right into it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's some of the images where it's like that's what it looked like. But I'm not. It's all recipes and shit.
It's just.
So I don't know.
It's an awful idea. Like, would you trust canned sushi?
No.
Right?
Although, I mean, to be fair, I trust canned fish, though.
Okay, fair enough. I guess really you could. Well, some of the stuff seems like the seaweed would break down, though.
Yeah.
The consistency was more of what I'm meaning, not that
it
would go bad. It's just,
it can't be good because I mean, okay, say you pop the top of the can,
yeah,
and it's got that like canned food goo.
Yes.
Because I mean, that's like the sushi rice is very specific.
Yeah.
It's got to be that sticky rice that's sticky.
Yeah. So you got to keep.
I don't want to have that fucking tin jizz all over my sushi.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I was getting at. Yeah, that concept. It's just, yeah, what a terrible idea. We should make some of this.
Definitely.
Coming soon from Tonico.
I mean, yeah, here's a recipe to use canned tuna, and you can make, I mean, I could actually, see here, onion, yep, tuna, yep, mayonnaise, salt, hot mustard. I actually have dried seaweed.
Now, see, I can understand that,
I don't have sushi rice, though.
To where you could do it real quick yourself. I understand trying to cut corners to, because you're not, some sushi rolling expert or something, but still.
Right. But wow. Canned sushi. All right then.
Yep.
I didn't know where the hell we're going. Oh, actual Labor Day?
Yeah.
We didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah. See, my Labor Day was well, first of all, I had a brutal headache, which has continued all the way to today.
Wow, that's quite the stretch.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Let me tell you.
Maybe that's why you can't hear yourself through your headphones.
Yeah, maybe.
Pounding head pain.
It's just an aneurysm, no big deal.
Yeah, you'd be fine.
So the one deck on our place, the boards were getting really wobbly. Like if you stepped on one end, you almost expected it to just fly up in the air and hit you in the face,
That'd be exciting.
Like Sideshow Bob stepping on rakes, So my siblings came over and tore off all the old wood off of that patio and put, this new composite stuff in instead, and they did a great job. And, it's so nice now. You walk on it, you don't feel like you need to hang on to anything, or you don't feel like you're going to like step through it at any point.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So that was pretty much the whole day, was them doing that, and which really, really sucked. Like I said, cause I had an awful headache, so I couldn't go out and help them in any way, which honestly, I feel like I would have just been in their way. They knew what they were doing, and they were just getting after it. But, so I couldn't do that. And, I honestly, I came out for a little bit to eat and I went right back into my room and laid down. But the other side of this that sucked for me, at least, was that, you've got to cut things and you need saws to do this. So
or sick karate skills.
Yeah. And they decided to go with saws, I guess, for whatever reason.
They should have come to my dojo.
Yeah, I know. And anyway, so, I'm laying there trying to, basically I'm trying to sleep, because that's generally, when I have headaches like this, it's the best way for me to deal with them. Usually if I can go to sleep, a lot of times I'll wake up and they'll be lessened, But
fair enough.
Every time, I'm laying there and I just keep hearing the,
Are you saying it's off-putting?
Yeah, a little bit. But,
that's weird.
But it was worth it, because we really needed that fixed. And, it was awesome of them to come over and take care of that and such. So,
right.
Yeah. So it wasn't anything real exciting, but I mean, it was a little exciting to go out there after they were done, kind of see the new deck.
Oh, for sure. I can get that.
Yeah.
Plus, now you have a nice place you can kick your feet up, relax, have a mint julep.
Yeah, exactly. As gentlemen do. Yeah.
Exactly. Wear your bolo tie and white suit and berate the neighbors.
Yes. What's funny is that patio does face the neighbor's place, so
perfect.
I really could sit there and berate the neighbors.
As soon as they walk out, you just start shitting on them.
Oh wait, no, I'm not going to wait till they walk out. If they got a window open, I'm just going to holler.
Oh, that's perfect. I like it.
Yeah, so that was it for Labor Day, though.
Yeah, we just hung out at the cottage for a bit and spent money school shopping, because it's that time of year for my kids. And, we did stop at our favorite little ice cream spot we call Moo.
Right.
Got some sick ass ice cream. Although mine, while it was delicious, I'm a peanut butter chocolate guy.
Yeah.
And they have this thing, it's called the Cow's Cud.
That sounds awful, but yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's like soft serve ice cream and then hot fudge and like liquid peanut butter in a cup.
This seems okay, though.
And I'm like, ooh, I'll take that. It really needs like nuts or something, because it's just all like, you need some different texture.
Oh, okay.
It's not just like that.
Yeah, it's all soft and whatnot. Yeah, I can understand. You need a little crunch in there.
Yeah, I mean, normally I get myself a blended candy concoction, a flurry or something, but I saw that and I'm like, I really want some hot fudge and peanut butter in my life right about now.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure it needs crunch in there. But I don't know, Labor Day was Labor Day.
Yeah.
We had a good time. It was, like I said, my lovely wife's birthday.
Yep.
And all in all, it was a good day. And then, it led into our week, which leads us to today.
Yeah, I had to go in, I don't remember, it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I had to go in to get my teeth cleaned. And
get them teefas?
Yeah, and what sucks is, because I didn't have insurance for a while, it had been a couple years since I got my teeth cleaned, which sucks. Because I'm pretty adamant about, my teeths. So,
right. I have an angle grinder. You just have to ask, buddy.
Damn it. I should have thought of that.
Come on now.
So anyway, I go in, for that, and they're like, oh, we're going to schedule you for an hour. And I'm like, fuck, because I'm thinking this is going to be brutal, because you just know, like, you accumulate a bunch of shit on your teeth over, 6 months. It's still no fun to sit through,
No.
Let alone, a year and a half or whatever it was, So anyway, I get to the place, and of course, the hygienist comes to the door and calls my name. And in the last couple times I've been there, someone has come and got me, had me sit down, and then someone else comes over, you know? And of course, like I was telling you, of course I got a smoking hot hygienist, and I'm just sitting there, and not that I'm going to hit on her anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But it's the idea that it's so funny. It's like they're going to be up in your this nasty shit on your teeth.
Like she's trying to like open your, like push your cheek open a little bit and you just start sucking on her finger.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't everyone?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's not the move.
You're just so delightful.
Yeah, I mean.
You ever dated a patient before?
Hey girl, what are you doing after this?
Exactly. You know, now that this mouth is all clean, I got an idea.
Let's make it dirty.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just funny though how that kind of stuff happens. You know, it's like the idea of if you're going in for a like a physical, you know, and you get the hot woman doctor or something instead.
Oh yeah. When I had to go in for hernia surgery.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we got to ultrasound your balls, basically.
Yeah.
Bring in the 20-year-olds.
Right.
It was these two broads come in. I'm like, oh, this is awkward. They're like, yeah, we need you to hold your dick and just have your balls out, and we're gonna molest them and run a like cold gel all over them.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's like, yeah, this is super awkward. Like, hi, ladies. Welcome to my giant testicles. Enjoy.
Oh, you don't mind if we lather them up, do you? Like, no, I mean, geez.
Yeah, I guess.
I know you have to.
I only wish this, you know, I wasn't so nervous right now.
Yeah.
I'd try to put on a better show.
It was cold. I mean, Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, yeah.
There was shrinkage. Oh, man. So yeah, like I said, it's just the idea of the whole thing just cracks me up because of, you know, because that's just the way it tends to work out on stuff like that, you know?
Oh, yeah,
like
definitely.
If I was going in there and my teeth were perfect, I'd probably get like the homeliest person in there, you know?
Exactly.
I think maybe they do it on purpose.
Like, bring in Edna.
Yeah. She comes in with a belt sander. Fuck.
Like, in my day. All right, I got nothing.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I do have, Brian?
Another beer?
A pineapple Pilsner.
Oh, boy. I don't know about all that.
There it is. So how'd that treat you?
It was brutal, but I mean, you know, but I expected it. And, you know, afterwards, she basically I got the goodest boy award afterward. Cause when she was done, she was like, okay, you're all set. And, you know, she's like, you hardly flinched. And I mean, she had to dig in pretty good a couple of times. Like I said, I know this is gross and I hate the fact that this happened, you know, like I certainly don't want my teeth like that. So anyway, you know, she was basically, you know, just like, wow, you know, you hardly flinched even though I was pretty much just fish hooking your gums, you know?
So did you drop an extra 50 for a handy, or how's it work?
I did ask for the happy ending, but no.
Like my last dentist would.
What? No.
It was an Asian dentist.
No hot towel?
Yeah, exactly. No hot towel. Jeez.
I mean, my last dentist did give a hot towel after everything.
Like, so is there a table shower involved with this? Or
yeah. She's like, I'll be right back. She comes in. I'm just nude. So we doing this or what? Shit. Yeah, that was.
What do you say we both take a little hit of nitrous, see what happens?
Yeah.
Get a little crazy.
So ridiculous. Yeah, but anyway, you know, it was no fun, but luckily, you know, since I have insurance now, hopefully I'll be able to keep going and this won't be a problem again.
Right.
So, yeah, fun times though.
Good, clean fun, especially them chompers.
Yeah, made a huge freaking difference too. You know?
Right.
Yeah, it is amazing, you know, when you go get a good cleaning. How?
Oh my God, you walk out, you're like sucking on your teeth, like,
yeah.
Oh my God. There's like weird textures in your mouth you never felt before.
Right, like. So yeah.
Like, what is that? A fossil I'm feeling? That's amazing. Is that a trilobite?
Not anymore. So yeah, that's all I got for the week, though. I haven't really done anything else.
Yeah, my week's been pretty meh. Yeah. But this is brought to my attention today.
All right.
Today.
Okay.
Our friend Michelle. Mm-hmm. She brought to my attention that this Christmas, Brian, there's a brand new illustrated classical book that's coming out.
Okay.
It's called A Die Hard Christmas, the illustrated holiday classic.
Nice.
It's it's exactly what it sounds like. It's available October 17th, which has already happened.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
No, you just said October 17th.
Wow.
That's a month in the future.
That's in the future, man.
Yeah.
So in the future, if you're listening to this, never mind.
Yeah, well, you're right if they're listening to this after October 17th. If
exactly.
They're listening prior to. Yeah.
Yes. So it's like Die Hard Christmas, the illustrated holiday classic written by comedian Doogie Horner. Never heard of you. You're not that good then. But instead of dealing with Santa's, it's like the night before Christmas, right?
Uh-huh.
But instead of dealing with Santa's attempts to deliver presents to good boys and girls, the book tells the timeless tales of a New York police officer single-handedly taking down a gang of European terrorists.
I like it.
And the illustrations that I see are like, this is a page, okay? Mm-hmm. They spoke not a word and unloaded big crates. They cut the phone lines and locked all the gates. Carl swept the ground floor, shooting every guard dead, while visions of bearer bonds danced in his head. So it seems incredible.
Yeah. Sounds like a must-have for everyone.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yep.
So for sure, this is a let me see if I can find it.
Shut up and take my money.
Remix.
Shut up and take my money.
Wow. Yes. Wow. So pre-order this shit on Amazon. Make sure you go to saltylanguage.com. Click that link, motherfuckers, and then get this book because your kids will love it. And they can pass it down to their kids, and then their kids, and then the meteor hits.
Probably not. What's going to happen is you'll give it to your kids, and they'll go, oh, a book. They'll go to give it to their kids, and they'll go, what the hell is this? With the way technology goes.
Bro, I just deleted my whole email I was going to send you.
Control Z.
Oh, does that work?
I don't know.
You're a genius.
The first thing you learn when you go to school for graphic design is Control Z is very, very much your friend.
Oh my God. That was like terrifying to me. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm just gonna paste this link real quick. It's all gone. Yeah, I don't even know what I hit.
Good use, yeah.
You remember that meteor I was talking about that wipes out this generation after generation? They're trying to read Die Hard Christmas and they get hit square in the face by a meteor.
Yes.
That happened to my email.
I noticed. Yeah. Luckily, I was like the Flash.
Yeah. Exactly. You ran backwards in time.
Fuck. What did I mess up?
Yep. Exactly. Mr. Zoom deep dicking somebody. That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's his mutant power.
He's a mutant? Wrong company.
Have you seen it?
He's a mutant in the truest sense of the word, not the Marvel sense of the word.
Right, exactly.
I get you. Okay.
Like, damn. Jeez. What was that, like upper 1%? Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Cartwheeling that sumbitch around.
Right out, right? Holy hell. God, I'm all over the place. I better have some. I got it.
I don't know why I said cartwheeling. I meant wheelbarrowing.
Well, if he cartwheeled, it'd be crazy. It looked like a ceiling fan.
Yeah, well,
this is the new generation of fidget spinners.
Yeah. Oh my.
So yeah, I don't even know where we're at. What are we doing? QW? Where are we at, Brian?
Yeah, that's probably what we should do.
All right. So last week, apparently this caught all kinds of traction on the internet. We asked y'all to tell us your top 3 albums of all time, which is going to be a Spotify playlist, providing Spotify actually has the albums on hand.
Right.
So, what I got here is I got all kinds of stuff, which I'll have to compile later because I think I'm just like on planet Beer right now, so I don't think I'll be assembling a list correctly.
Right.
So you're gonna have to like send me your list.
Nah, don't think that's going to happen.
Because writing is a terrible idea.
All right.
So on Face page, I have our pal Jared.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know this is English. It says Helvetos by Eula. I think he's making shit up. Helvetos by Eula Vetti? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Did I just cast this? Am I summoning demons?
I think you are, yeah.
God damn it, Jared.
Are you looking at the Cthulhu thread again?
I know, right? I just, like, the old ones are rising. Thanks, Jared. Way to go, Dick.
Yeah. Forget the meteor.
So he's got demon stuff. That first thing I just tried to say. Then he's got Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park.
Okay.
R.I.P. Chester. And then he's got Slipknot's self-titled album, which I'm assuming is Slipknot.
No.
Jeff from Hobie. He says Pink Floyd, The Final Cut. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water. And then Blue October, Foiled.
Interesting.
I prefer Orange November, plastic wrapped. Our buddy Philip, Johnny Enthusiast, hero of salty language. Also, beers. What's the beer in
ML
balls? And ML beers.
It's not balls.
It's like balls and beer. I don't know what it is. ML beers.
That's their
podcast.
after dark version.
Exactly, balls and beers.
Yeah. So what's up with your balls?
Although balls and beers, strikes and stouts, I'm writing shit for you guys.
Oh, you're right. Strikes and stouts. I forgot about that.
Innings and IPAs.
Hey, it's just writing itself
I got nothing
now.
else.
Yeah, you've already given them a treasure trove.
I know, right?
You're welcome.
Pilsners and pop-ups. No. You sure?
It's terrible.
No? Okay. He says, Good Kid Mad C-I-R-Y? Siri? That's not cry. I don't know what that means. It's know. Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
But I don't know what that... Good. Okay, Kendrick's amazing. So let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
Dudes, Philip's having me summon demons too. Deja and Tendu by Brand New. Mm-hmm. And the Steel Drivers by the Steel Drivers. Steel Driver, Mr. Zoom. So I got that.
Definitely slinging beams.
Slinging beams. And then I got because my Lady Space Violence of Hobie sent me the stuff from our Kit group if I could find my camera roll. Because normally we don't even acknowledge a Kit group exists when it comes to Q2W.
That's true.
We love the Kit group. It makes for fine chat. Yeah. That's where this Q2W came from.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Garrett, who initiated this whole nonsense, says, Cake, Comfort Eagle, Ludo, you're awful, I love you. The Decemberist, the Crane Wife. Right?
Yeah.
Right. And then, let's see here. Matthew from Waffle Sunday says, Weird Al, Running of Scissors. Soundtrack to motion. Did I say these already? Soundtrack to motion picture Point Break, 1991. Kiss Destroyer.
No, you didn't say these.
Okay, thank you. Dev, he says the Luke Cage soundtrack.
Good choice.
Pretty strong.
Yeah.
Metallica S&M album. It's album, you idiot. And then Wu-Tang, Enter the Wu-Tang.
Strong.
36 Chambers of Death.
Strong choice there.
Which I really feel like he's jumping all over this giant ultrasound goo covered sack.
Wouldn't he slip though? I mean, it's...
He would.
All right.
It's terrible. And then our friend Ashley from Trivia, a.k.a. Shorty McShorty.
A.k.a. Oh,
she says, a.k.a.
Yeah.
Which if she hears us, she'll punch me right in the dick if I call her Shorty McShorty.
That's true.
She says Linkin Park Hybrid Theory, so she agrees with Jared there. Mm-hmm. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, the original Stag version, for sure disagree.
Yeah, right.
And Beastie Boys, License to Ill, which for sure agree.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So that's what I got on my end of the Q2W, my friend.
I've got quite a few.
Okay, I'm going to settle back. I'm going to just lean back in my chair. Got my pineapple Pilsner.
Oh, hey, wow. See, it's fun to see sometimes how far we've grown as podcasters, because you just lean back in your chair and you actually move the mic with you.
I know, because I am a fucking pro.
Unlike in the early days when I had to keep yelling at you to get on
Yeah,
mic.
I'll be like, I'm going to lean back. What are we talking about?
I'm like, move your mic.
Huh?
Shit. All right, so
yeah.
These are all from Twitters. Angie Banji says, rumors.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
It's adorable, even.
Yeah, she's great. She's pretty awesome. Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. Sticky Fingers by Rolling Stones. And Oops, I Did It Again, Britney Spears.
What? The fuck?
Yeah.
She lost me on that last one.
Now, I'm going to read a couple replies here because they're very relevant. Our pal and former enthusiast guest, James from The Obscure Gentleman, said, you typoed that whole last sentence, meaning the Oops, I Did It Again part. And she said, Angie replied with, it's a masterpiece and it got me through some what I thought was tough at the time times. So
Times?
Time times.
Fair enough.
Yep. The next one is wow, this is interesting. Ash Mensch. This is Ashley. She said Florence and the Machine, Lungs. Florence and the Machine, Ceremonials. Florence and the Machine, How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful.
I'm sensing a theme here.
It seems like she may like Florence and the Machine.
Maybe.
A touch. All right. Next one, once again, James, or at Obscure Gent.
James!
Misfits, Static Age.
That's a good one.
Danzig, How the Gods Kill.
Wait a minute.
And Metallica, Ride the Lightning.
That's not a Danzig themed album.
I know, he blew it on the last one.
He did. Jesus Christ. It should have been like Danzig alone with his ukulele in his room, naked by himself.
And sweaty.
Well, because Danzig.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be like 15 degrees on. He's just sweating profusely for some reason. It's all that Satan power.
I hope James hears this. I'm always making fun of how sweaty Danzig is.
Have you seen him? He's in a fishnet shirt.
Yeah.
And it looks like he just climbed out of a goddamn pool.
Yeah.
And not majestically either.
Yeah. It'd be like if I wore a fishnet shirt. I'd just be
That'd be incredible.
As hell. Yeah. No.
Only if you have a mermaid tail.
That's weird, but all right.
Well, because sushi time.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm already wearing my shark fin hat.
Well, duh. Deepest, bluest.
Yep. The next one is at Plain Travis, which is Travis from the Plain Zero podcast. Exile in Oblivion by Strung Out. Among the Living by Anthrax. And The Second Law by Muse.
Right on.
All right. The next one.
This is going to be an extensive fucking playlist on Spotify.
It really is. There's not a lot of overlap in these, so there's going to be a lot. The next one is from my pal Eddie, who's on Twitter is at Flaccid Umbrella.
That's a terrible umbrella.
Yeah. Well,
you don't want a flaccid umbrella when you're in the middle of if you have a flaccid umbrella and Irma's coming, you're fucking boned.
I don't think it matters what kind of
might as well be an AIDS umbrella, if that's a thing.
I tell you, kids these days. All right, so
children?
No. So To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Brothers by the Black Keys.
There was a time, Brian, where I was driving a van full of white people, except for Soundboard T.
Yeah.
And we're the only sober people, and I was jamming Kendrick Lamar, and boy, did it piss off all the white people behind us.
Oh, well.
It was grand.
Yeah, I like it. And his last one is In the Aeroplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel. Jeez, I can't talk.
Yeah. I haven't listened to Neutral Milk Hotel in a long time.
I don't know if I ever have.
Yeah. I'm about to. This playlist might go into my regular rotation
there's
on
some
Spotify.
Strong stuff on here, yeah. The next one is from his name's Tony at Born Miserable.
I never responded to this.
It's James. Late is the album. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say this, man, and I'm gonna butcher it. It's Morrissey. Was it Foxhall and I?
Sure.
And Manic Street Preachers. The Holy Bible. That's it. Man, all of a sudden.
Holy Diver?
No, not Holy Diver.
God damn it.
You wish. All right. Next one, at Obscure Aaron, who is he's the artist behind the Obscure Gentleman comic book and brother to former guest of the show, James.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Danzig, 2, Lucifuge, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, and David Bowie, Diamond Dogs.
All
right.
Another Danzig. Yeah, I noticed a theme between these two gentlemen.
They do enjoy the Danzig.
Do you think one of them has a chain that says Dan and the other one has a chain that says Zig?
Well,
and they just like pair them up and magical shit happens?
Probably. James has a dog named Danzig, or Glenn Danzig.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what's bad is when they put them backwards and Zig Dan. It's no good.
Jeez, I put the wrong one on. You just had
goddamn it, Zig Dan.
Yeah. Corey D. Davis says Jimmy Eat World Futures. I love that album. Radiohead, OK Computer. Never could get into that one. That one's got. I'm back and forth on a lot of the stuff on that one.
It's got the that robot one on there or whatever.
Yeah. And the last one is REM, Automatic for the People. And
yeah, fair enough.
Right. The next one is from Joe, which is at what Joe talking about.
Excellent.
Pearl Jam 10, Led Zeppelin 4, and Mumford and Sons Sigh No More.
Damn it! I was hoping it would be a whole number named album.
That would have been great.
That would have been incredible.
I know.
10-4, and I don't know. 10-4, good buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say good buddy would have been hilarious. At bad_episode. Shoot, where did it go?
That's this one.
It's Josh Silverman. He says The Beatles, Abbey Road, David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, and Radiohead, Kid A.
Oh, right on.
Excuse me. At Craven4 says Queen, Night at the Opera, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, and Bitch Tits with Bad Out of Hell.
Did he actually call him
No,
Bitch
he
Tits?
didn't. That was all me.
Oh, I was like, that's incredible.
No. That would have been funny as hell, though.
I see. I mean, I've never been a meatloaf guy.
Yeah.
I don't mean the food. The food's
that's
amazing.
delicious. Yeah, I'd eat that all day.
The singer is right out, in my opinion. I've never...
Except for in Fight Club.
I would do anything... What?
I said except for in Fight Club.
Maybe I just don't know the meatloaf deep cuts, but I could do anything for love. I'm not feeling it, man.
I understand. I've never been a big fan either. My mom always liked him, but I just never did anything for me.
Right?
All right. The next one is at Mommy Whitfield. It's Amanda. She says Tool, Enema, however you want to say it, which is a
good
fine album. Yep. Fiona Apple, When the Pawn. I know it's one of your favorites.
I can't shit on. I'm a Fiona Apple fan.
See, I told you.
Granted, she should have a sandwich every once in a while.
Yeah, and
stay away from the egg whites to get the pancakes. You know what I'm saying?
No, get the potato cakes.
Yeah. Oh boy, she'll never be the same.
Jeez, I got to stop talking breakfast. I forgot.
That's right. Getting aroused.
And her last one was Tori Amos, Little Earthquakes.
Fair enough.
Okay, that's all that shows there. But I know... Okay, here we go. Enno. Jesus. Henno, my co-host on The Crazy Life, he said if he were on a deserted island, his 3 albums would be Sugar, Copper Blue, Megadeth, Rust in Peace, and Cypress Hill, Cypress Hill. I didn't expect...
Those are some excellent choices.
I did not expect Cypress Hill, I'll be honest.
No, really?
No.
Cypress Hill, so I've listened to that album.
No, I'm not knocking the album.
So many times.
I just didn't expect Henno to pick that album.
That's fair. Yeah. That's a good one, though.
It is a good album, I'll say, yeah.
Man, I feel like listening to some Cypress Hill now. A little Dr. Green Thumbs or something?
I hope. I'm looking to see... Oh, jeez, I hit the wrong link. Stupid me. Ugh. I just wanted to scroll through the... what do you call it? Through our notifications real quick to make sure I didn't miss any. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I hope I didn't miss any. There is one that's weird because I don't, yeah. There's one that was from, was it Lumpo Kaloka? And they responded to one of them and said, I forgot to add Queen to my list. So I don't know if they submitted one, but I don't see any. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Oh, shit. I got a couple more here.
Oh, here we go.
Wish You Were Here. This is from that Lumpo Kaloka, however you say that. Wish You Were Here. Obviously Pink Floyd.
Right.
Aja, which I don't know who that is. Do you?
No. That's what I say when I find stuff.
No,
Aja!
No, I mean, what? That's the album name.
My keys! Aja!
Damn you. And Hotel.
No, I have no idea.
Hotel California. I know that's the Eagles, but I don't know the middle one. Somebody out there probably listening going, Jesus, how could you not know? Whatever.
God damn. How do you spell it?
AJA.
H-A what?
No, A-J-A.
A-J-A.
Aja.
Aja. Good, but Aja album.
Okay.
Survey says it's just called. Oh, it's Steely Dan.
Oh, okay. That would explain why I don't know it, because I've never been a Steely Dan fan.
There's a. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just say it. There's a guy in our family we call Steely Dan because he steals shit from us. And his name's Dan.
Yeah.
So his nickname is Steely Dan.
That makes sense. All right. Excuse me. From my pal Mike at mstern68 said Frank Zappa and the Mothers, Overnight Sensation.
Right.
Led Zeppelin, Presence, and Dixie Dregs, Free Fall. Not Fall. Jeez, Brian, come on.
For a second, I forgot to say Dixie Chicks.
Oh, God, if he would have picked Dixie
I was going to strike that tweet from the record.
He would have got so much shit if he would have picked the Dixie Chicks. I don't mean for me, because, I'm not judging people on their music, so.
Unless it's the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah. Well, no, we talked about this before, but, it's kind of like after we talked with Jonathan Diener, when we were talking about guilty pleasures and stuff, and he was kind of like, I don't believe in those, because if you like it, you like it, So I've kind of.
But what if you feel bad?
Well, that's different.
Like meth, like as a guilty pleasure, man. It makes you feel great, though.
Well, we're talking about music, though. So.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Sure you did. All right, so Fluffy Bunny Ash says Frank Zappa, Roxy and Elsewhere, because I can fucking talk. The Prodigy, The Fat of the Land.
Oh, excellent choice.
Good choice, yeah. And she
that's a M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong video there.
Yep.
The old smack my bitch up.
Yep. And she tried to Hobie it. So
what?
Because she said her number 3 is truly a toss-up between Korn, Issues, and Rob Zombie Hellbilly Deluxe. She said pick either one, she won't be upset.
Here's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Fluffy Bunny Ash, the lovely Fluffy Bunny Ash.
Mm-hmm. Way to kiss up, yeah.
Is a staple answerer to the Q to W.
Yes.
She gets all 4.
All right, fair enough. I like the executive decision there. Good choice.
Right?
Here we go. And from Cheeto Bandito, Pearl Jam 10. Oh, he says, my top 3 albums of all time. Damn, you guys are hardcore. Which, I told you before we recorded that there was various conversations had about how basically we're assholes for making people pare it down to 3.
Well, if there's one thing we're going to live up to is being a bunch of cunts.
Yeah, that is accurate.
Yes.
So anyway, Pearl Jam 10, Jethro Tull, Aqualung. I'm shaking my head at you, Luther.
God damn it. Whistles and shit.
And,
get your flute out of here.
And Leonard...
I'm an elf skipping through the woods. Toodly-doo.
Oh, shit. And his last one
is that Jethro Tull, guys? Or is that fairy folk?
Could be either. Either way, they got...
Is that a centaur?
Either way, they stole a Grammy from Metallica. So,
we did that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cheeto.
Leonard Skinnerd, pronounced Leonard Skinnerd.
I love, he had his goddamn Elfin Magic album, and then he followed it up with Leonard Skinnerd, which is like the most American badass thing ever.
Yeah.
God damn it, Cheeto.
What are you going to do, man?
You go from like 20-sided dice to mullets and guns.
Yeah, basically.
I know, plane crashes. Oof.
Oh
boy.
Why'd you have to go there, Tony?
Oh man, rolled a 1 on that one, didn't you guys?
Yikes. Yeah.
Critical fail.
All right. Typical Brian roll. Hard pass.
No, they didn't pass on that mountain at all.
Yeah, you're right.
Or no, that was the big bobber. Whatever they hit. What was it, a cornfield? I don't even know.
I don't remember.
They fucking crashed.
Yeah. So, yeah, I believe that's all I have. If I, by chance...
Place was scattered, man. Huh?
Free bird! No, if I missed anybody's, I'm sorry. I didn't see them in their notifications or anything. So I tried to get them all in, though.
Yeah, hey, it happens.
Yep. So that's it. That's what I got.
Woo! This is going to be, look. Jeez, I can't talk. Check out our social medias and stuff for the eventual posting of the link to the Spotify playlist if you want to play along at home.
Right.
If you're at work, you're like, I got to listen to this shit. After you listen to our current episode,
right.
Cue up your Spotify.
Yeah.
Boom. It'll be there.
Good call. Good call.
I will provide a link at some point, but this is going to be something to assemble.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. Like I said, because there's not much overlap at all.
Yeah. And so for sure, Brian, you need to email me those or something. Because I'm not, remember, I didn't write anything down like I could even see straight or right.
Fair enough. All right, so hit the sound drop.
I like what you got. Good job.
Excellent work, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks.
You know what I noticed wasn't on anybody's list?
What's that?
No Creed. That's weird.
Well, if Nickel had sent it in.
That's true. And we already talked about the disappearance of Graphic Novice.
Yeah.
We really need Robert Stack to check this shit out.
Yeah. This is definitely an unsolved mystery. Or maybe now we progress to...
Thank you, Doc.
Nice. Or we progress now to Dateline or whatever. You know, it's one of those 2-hour-long Datelines where basically you could just watch the last half hour and get the whole program.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I agree.
Tonight on Dateline, what happened?
Whatever happened to Graphic Novice? One guy bought a cabin, the other guy bought chickens. What happened?
What happened will shock you.
Yeah. We both noticed the things they bought started with C. Coincidence? We think not.
There's a picture of one of those big whiteboards, and there's just like almost nothing on it, but there's like the red string, and it's just that they both have the letter C.
The letter C, yeah. It's cabin, chicken, and they're combined. C. Look, it's a common denominator.
Yeah.
Like, is it? Like, you know what else starts with C? Cunt.
You know what else starts with a C? Conspiracy.
Oh, geez, you're right. I was wrong. It's all tied together.
Yeah.
And you know what else? Cuba, like Kennedy, but it's a K.
I was like, Kennedy.
But he was tied of Cuba.
Boy. So anyway.
All right. So that leads us to our next Q and a W. We just need to do music ones, because whenever we do a music one, people just start jerking off all over it.
It also helps that I promote them more. So.
Well, I guess that works too.
Yeah, it would help if I actually tell people what, Hey.
So, Brian, this is in your court to tell people about a Q to W in your Twitter groups.
Okay.
I'll do my best, which isn't much.
Right.
So this week's Q to W is I would like people to tell us who someone living is someone they want to spend the evening partying with. And I don't care what the definition of partying is. It could be drinking, it could be drugging, it could be fucking. I really don't care.
Well, I mean, that certainly opens things up.
With the evening, a living person partying with.
All right, fair enough.
I've got a couple answers.
Okay.
Like, there's a party who wants to be like, well, do I want to get herbally indulged and spend the evening with Snoop Dogg?
Oh, I was thinking you were going to go with someone else. No, I'm kidding.
Do you want to get someone at Moon Rock and go see Jesus?
Right.
There's that. Or because like right now we've been indulging in old fashions and beers and stuff. Do I want to party with the Machine, Bert Kreischer?
Oh, dude, I don't know if that'd be a good idea.
It seems like he seems so much fun. It seems
does,
like a great time.
But it seems like you die trying to keep up.
Right. But I think the ideal, at least, situation for me would be Anthony Bourdain. Because he likes to eat good and he can drink. And he can, partake in herbal medicine if he so desires.
Yeah.
And I'd just love to sit down and talk to the guy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I can.
So I think I'm going with Bourdain.
Damn, that's a pretty good choice. The first one that jumps into my head is Bill Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the stories you've heard about how he's just a blast to hang out with, and all that. Plus, I mean, how many movies of his do I love and such?
All of them.
Mm-hmm. So I could just sit there and annoy the shit out of him all night. No.
Excellent work.
No. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there'd be somebody else. Yours is a good call, though. Like Anthony Bourdain. The other one I might be interested in would be like Elton Brown. Because,
that'd be a good one, too.
Because he's traveled, he's tried a lot of stuff, and he's not just knowledgeable on, like, food, He also knows bourbons and, science stuff a little bit and all that kind of thing. So, I mean, I know if I was really, like, looking for science, I could say, like, Neil deGrasse Tyson or something. Because I have a feeling that when Neil deGrasse Tyson parties, he fucking owns.
Probably.
I just feel like he's probably, like, the king of the party.
Like when he ties one off, shit gets real.
Yeah. But you want to be there, so.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I'm going to go with, you know what? Let me go with Elton Brown instead, because kind of the same reasons you went with Bourdain. So, yeah.
Well, there you go. And so check out our Spotify party playlist. No, I got nothing. But yeah, we do want to know who's a living entity on this planet that you would like to party with. I gotta find my sound drop, Brian.
Yeah, you do.
There it is.
Show me what you got.
Oofa.
Oh my. Yeah.
Sometimes reading's rough.
There's another great shirt, Tony. You just got to get a good picture of you inebriated and sometimes reading and stuff.
Rough,
sorry. Oh, shit. Oh,
yeah,
man.
maybe.
Oh, shit. All right. Whew. All right, let's wrap this up.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you got any more or anything else?
I'm sure I could ramble for hours. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. But we're over 2 hours already, so we should.
Fuck them.
We're getting the red
Enjoy
light.
your memory on your phone.
We're getting the red light from the producer.
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Okay, well, as normal, we ask you head over to saltylanguage.com. All our social media links are there. The past episodes, the enthusiasts that we've done, the show links are there. You can see the networks we're part of, such as the Tangent Bound Network. We're on the Geek Life Radio list, I think. And
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment.
Yeah. Thanks, Mystical. Shout out to Mystical despite your creepiness.
Yeah. Terrible. If you want to contact us, like if you want to send in your Q of the W or whatever, or if you'd still like to join Dude Mountain, it's not too late. You'll be 1 week behind, but
yes,
you still, if you have a good run, you could still catch up.
It's true, because believe me, we all stink.
Oh, well, not to mention, look at last year. How many times did somebody move up like 4 point, off of like a 7-point swing or something,
I know, right?
It happens. So
because when you bet against the spread, it's not that easy.
Oh, no.
Because Vegas just Mr. Zooms you.
Well, perfect example was last night. I think everybody probably picked the Patriots because I think it was
I for sure picked Patriots.
It was the Patriots in 9, I think. And yeah, they certainly did not cover.
No, they got their fucking faces kicked in.
They certainly did. And so anyway, if you want to join that, you can email us at saltylanguage@gmail.com or send me a message or us a message, whatever, on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me on Twitter at Stunami.
You can find me at Monotony, Monotony.
If you dare.
Honestly, it's,
He hasn't posted in like 12 years. But
yeah, it's been a long time since I posted, but if you send me something, I will respond.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're better off finding me on the old Snappers, salty_language on Snapchat.
I'm at Ninjitsu.
Or, Instagram too, Salty Language Pod on Instagram. Or I think I'm Monotony79 maybe on Instagram. I can't quite recall. Because some asshat had Monotony and they haven't posted a picture in like a long ass time.
Right? Much like our Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Fucking
it's like, ooh, I love the picture of this like granule of sand if you're fucking disgusting toe in it or whatever.
Are you sure that wasn't you?
Get off Instagram!
Are you sure that wasn't you? And like when you were
Follow
drunk?
up, Vicks Vapor Rub is working. It's fascinating.
I like that.
The old fucking, like, whatever you want to call this thing.
Death toe?
The old leopard toe, the old grayscale toe.
Right.
It's like the nonsense is growing out of it.
Right.
It's a slow process.
That's fair.
Thank God I have like Wolverine mutant powers that comes with my nails.
Yeah.
They grow ridiculously fast.
Mm-hmm.
So the deathly part is slowly going away because I'm cutting it off.
Ah, nice.
But the old Vapor Rub, it works. I mean, who knew?
There you go.
Pro tip. You got death nails? Vapor Rub.
Second good bit of advice from Tony tonight after reading.
Goddamn right.
Sometimes reading is tough. Rough. Damn it, I keep messing that up.
But you got to be consistent with that shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure. You got to pretend like your toes have the sniffles every day.
Well, they do, man. They do.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's all the links, right?
I don't know, man.
Whatever, it's good enough.
SaltyLanguage.com. Oh, do you want to be a sexy person? We'll do you. Hit up our Patreon, patreon.com/saltylanguage. There's all kinds of content that most of y'all aren't aware of because it's on our Patreon that you can just like plug in and enjoy.
Totally nudes.
No. You want to see some Mr. Zoom action? Get on that Patreon, son. Yeah, hit us up. If you want to support the show, you can do anything from $1 to some ungodly amount. Like, give us some of that oil money. I'm looking at you, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Warren Buffett, get on that.
Exactly.
Bill and Melinda Gates, donate to us.
I can't remember. Hey, Branson, I know your island just got destroyed, but Salty Language.
Mm-hmm. More important. Yep.
But yeah, hit up that Patreon, y'all.
Yeah, please do. And I guess with that, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Dude, you should have a couple beers and an old fashioned. Maybe some oxygen. Oxygen's pretty cool.
Fair enough.
Just enjoy yourselves, people.
Oh, shit. And, to Mr. Zoom, keep slinging that beam.